get started. Hey everyone. Okay, I'm going to jump right in. Let's see if I can get it done. Okay. All right. Okay, let me pull up the article here. Okay. So, okay. All right. So, healing the divide in the beauty of destruction. Okay, so this is a loaded article. So I'm going to try to keep this to a half an hour and I'm just going to dive in. So there's a quote here that says, "Now is not the time to be drawing lines in the sand. Now is not the time for more separation. Now is the time to be coming together as a human collective, even when you have different perspectives. And even when those different perspectives seem like enough of a reason to go into a us versus them mentality. You don't actually have to go there. One of your defining characteristics as a race is your willingness to let go, to forgive, and to see past those differences. Who decided there was a difference in the first place? Who decided they were more worthy than someone else? What fuels the difference? Is it money, religion, race, sex, politics, etc.? It is an illusion based on constructed beliefs. We were fed as a society. Some bought it, some didn't, and it starts from a very early age. Just look at the marketing with the young kids are fed. So this is an illusion. And on the article here, I have a picture of an illusion, of like someone walking through an illusion, like one of those mazes, right? So this is all an illusion. There is actually no separation. And if you have ever like dug into quantum physics or anything like that, then you know like there's no separation. Like we are all linked together. And you know, certain people wanted to create this illusion of separation through many different modalities, and it works for the masses, right? But there are a lot of people, including myself, and if you're listening to this, I'm assuming that you're one of those as well, that did not buy into that separation illusion and don't live that way, right? And we try to live a more united way. So it's just really interesting to whenever you are in this awareness, to see that separation from, like, even just, again, like I said, the marketing to young kids. So it is an illusion based on the thought that someone is more worthy because they have more money, things, social recognition, skin color, etc., which leads people from an early age to be driven by their ego. The ego can also drive this divide because it wants to be right, it wants to be fulfilled, etc. But it is not the basis of happiness. In fact, an ego-driven life is one of unfulfillment. And you know, our ego is meant to protect us. It is not meant to fuel our lives. It's meant to be there and say, oh my God, don't walk out on the street, there's a car coming. It's not meant to, you know, rule your life and have you just completely unfulfilled. Okay. And that's what happens to so many people is, you know, people say like, oh, their ego is so big, you know, and that's the fulfillment of the ego, but it's actually not filling up your heart at all, right? So I've personally come to the conclusion, thanks to Abraham Hicks, and if we click on this link here, this will take you to a really, really, really great video that she did. I think it's like 15 minutes long, just about the current situation and how this is actually, you know, it's not a bad thing. It's a really, really good thing due to the asking of so many. Again, clearing out the crap, right? And there's a reason why this is happening. So that's where that link takes you. I highly recommend watching it. I've watched it about 10 times already because it's just so uplifting and it resonates so well with me. So from her, I learned that there are only two types of people in the world: ones that are connected to source, their higher selves, and ones that are not. However, the divide in this case is only within themselves because everyone has the potential and capability of tapping in. So this is not a divide that is given from an outside source. This is a divide within yourself, completely different. And everyone has the opportunity and the ability to reach that point in themselves if they so choose to. Whenever they don't and they're not operating from source, you see really shitty people, like you know who I'm talking about, right? Like the type of people that we are what honestly taking down right now. The people that are going down right now are those type of people, okay? They're not connected to their higher selves. So just think about that, so that divide within themselves is their responsibility. It's not anyone else's responsibility. Your higher self does not criticize. It seeks to understand. It knows that your opinion is not my opinion, and it does not care. When you are in tune with your higher self, you operate from a place of authenticity and transparency. You're not concerned with creating differences because to you, there is none. You are happy when people are thinking for themselves no matter what. This is why I'm so open, and this is why I share my beliefs, because in my outlooks and what I stand for. Because I know that by living from a place of authenticity, it does not stop anyone else from doing it themselves, but actually helps give them the courage to do it as well. So for me, I'm very open with what I believe in, what I stand for, on my social media platforms. I'm not worried about encountering a debate. Actually, that's never happened to me. And I share, like, if you know me well, you know my beliefs in pretty much everything. I'm very open with it. People don't come at me about it, because I live authentically and I live with transparency. So whenever you just own that, people feel that, and they're not going to, I'm not saying that you're never going to have someone that's going to come in and be like, oh my God, but for the majority of for the majority of the time, that's what happens. But whenever you're doing this, and this is why I do this, because I lead with my heart, I lead with, with transparency. So you are not that you need permission to do so, but you are giving people permission to lead that way as well, because they see you doing it. So they feel like it's safe for them to do it as well. And that's just a mental thing, a mental feeling that people have. I've been there personally. I see other people sharing their truths about really hot topics, and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I am too, you know? And a lot of times I think that people are afraid to. So this starts with the simple act of letting someone else believe whatever they want to believe and not letting it affect you. This is about being an example of what is possible for everyone. This is about having no judgment on others' own personal journeys to their truths and their inner knowing. Okay, everyone is going to get to their personal truths, going to get to, their own journey. And it is not your job, my job, anyone's job to judge that, or to, force them to think a certain way. Okay, because and I, personally, I do this myself. I don't criticize anyone for where they're at. Whenever I think of things like that, I think of, I wonder why they're thinking that way. I replace judgment with curiosity, and I'm a really big advocate for that, just because it makes sense, right? Okay. How many times have you seen friendships fall apart, families have issues, conflict arise because of two different belief systems? Let's talk about this that's going on right now. Think the war created and fueled on social media right now. Here's some examples: vax and anti-vax, pro-Trump, anti-Trump, religious versus spiritual, black versus white, etc. When in reality, here's the big thing: there is only one belief system being created and fueled, and that is the one that everyone has to think the same way, which was the manipulation we were all fed for so long, the divide they wanted to create. Okay, this is really important to understand, because it's not truth. It is not truth at all. And whenever we can, as a collective, understand that and realize that, it doesn't have to be all or nothing with someone. You don't have to relate to someone 100% in order to be around them, to be friends with them, whatever. It's why. Who cares? Okay, everyone is allowed to have their own belief system. Everyone is allowed. Do you want someone telling you you're wrong? No. And I think that a lot of people make decisions with the information that they have at that moment, you know, and as we go, we learn more. When we learn more, we can change our, thought process. We can change what we believe. So more and more people are every day are disconnecting from this illusion and are coming together, and it's beautiful. They're disconnecting. You see people, especially during this time right now, like we all know this is not just about one thing, right? And people are getting that. So unity is strength. When there is teamwork and collaboration, wonderful things can be achieved. So narrative no more, okay? Like we're done with it. We're just done with that narrative. So we heal this divide by disconnecting from that illusion and reconnecting within ourselves with our truth. We heal this divide by helping anyone who needs it, no matter their income, race, gender, social status, etc. We heal this divide by finding common ground, such as you are willing to wonder if the version of reality, the story you're being told, is in fact the truth as the person speaking it knows truth to be. We heal this divide by becoming a giver. While acknowledging giving or receiving does not limit you or anyone else, there is no scarcity. We heal this divide by forgiveness and using it as our superpower. We heal this divide by stepping into plus absorbing unconditional love and letting that lead the world over fear. We heal this divide by cheering each other on instead of putting each other down. We heal this divide by replacing judgment with curiosity. We heal this divide by putting more energy toward our own families plus true happiness rather than the status quo. We heal this divide by having no artificial lens in front of us when interacting with any person. That means you're not filtering your thought process. You're not filtering what you're going to say based on the people in front of you at any given time. This means you don't have different stories. You have one story and it's your truth. And that is what you are sharing. Here's a quote that came from an article that I had just read recently. And it says, what you need is to accept that someone else's perspective is just as valid as yours. And when you let go of your resistance to what someone else believes is going on behind the scenes or even right in front of your faces, then you will know that you have benefited from being in a topsy-turvy time and a polarized society. And so when you can celebrate the fact that someone is at least thinking for themselves and marching to the beat of their own drummer, then you know you will have acknowledged that person's free will, and you will not feel in any way threatened by the fact that their version of reality does not line up with yours. This is all a work in progress. And progress looks a lot like destruction. So let's go into the second half of this. But I do want to say something about that quote real quick. I am going to add the link to that. And it's going to take you to an article that some of you might find interesting. Some of you might find like it has no value to you. Some of you might be like, holy shit, this clicks. So just throwing that out there. But this is, just accepting that people are thinking, being happy that people are thinking for themselves rather than believing everything that they're fed. Again, just look at it as progress, right? So enlightenment is a destructive process. It has nothing to do with becoming better or becoming happier. Enlightenment is the crumbling away of untruth. It's seeing through the facade of pretense. It's the complete eradication of everything that was imagined to be true. There is so much beauty in destruction. We are experiencing destruction on many levels within ourselves right now, and all systems globally. If you look closely, you can see the perspectives being played out here. As we are all experiencing the same global destruction, we are not all experiencing it in the same way. We are experiencing it from the level of destruction we are having within ourselves. Okay? I've talked about this many times. Whenever it comes to healing, there's layers. And even from the beginning of this situation, I had felt things on a deeper level. Things came up for me to heal. This was pulling them up to the surface. We're seeing that playing out on many different perspectives right now from many different people. This is why you have people who are excited about what is happening, confused about what is happening, and mortified about what is happening, and many others in between. So that leads a lot of people to ask, how the F can I get excited about this? So that's where I'm at. So let me break it down, and I'll share with you how I have gotten myself to that point. Okay. Destruction of our financial system. And on the article, I have a graphic of the top bank regulator announces abrupt resignation. So PSA, if you've been around me a long time, you've heard this from me, but we are not meant to just pay bills and die. We're not. And I've known that from a very, very, very early age. I've had that on my heart because I've watched people, I've watched my parents, I've watched, most people around me struggle, sacrifice, repeat, struggle, sacrifice, repeat, get a little bit of happiness, struggle, sacrifice, repeat. Guys, that's not right, okay? And someone, you'll have all these people, oh, that's the way of life. No, okay, it's not how it was meant to be. It doesn't matter how long it's been going on, it's not how it was ever meant to be. It was not like that many, many, many years ago. So think about that. Okay, so wealth is not limited. Wealth does not discriminate, but it was heavily manipulated for so long. Our current system is crumbling, and that is such a good thing. It was never designed to support the people, and it is completely effed up in itself. This is not a crash or recession, yet a restructure and redistribution. You can learn more about that here, and I have 2 article links. So here and here, and there is 2 article links here that you can go to and just kind of go at it. It's a rabbit hole, but it's a really, really, really exciting one. So the first one is going to take you to all about the Nasara and what is actually going on. And then the second one is going to talk about the Federal Reserve and what is actually going on there. So I've been in such heavy research mode about all this stuff. It's very intriguing to me because it's very exciting. Again, destruction looks a lot like progress, or progress looks a lot like destruction. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're, listening and hearing all the things. Okay, so there again, that rabbit hole is a really, really, really great rabbit hole. Literally completely changed my perspective on everything, and just my intuition led me there. But yeah, there's a whole ton of stuff there. Highly recommend it. Okay, number 2, destruction of our healthcare system. Now, here's a quote that I want to read to you guys, because when it comes to our health, again, this is why people get into debates about all these things, right? Like, it's just ridiculous. Here's the thing, they get defensive. People get so defensive. And I've encountered this a couple times, and I'll tell you why. So the quote is, "You must always be willing to truly consider evidence that contradicts your beliefs and admit the possibility that you may be wrong. Intelligence isn't knowing everything, it's the ability to challenge everything you know." And everything, I'm adding this part on, and everything we've ever been told. So here's what's going on right now in our healthcare system. The veil is being lifted for everyone right now. Many of us knew what was behind it for many years. However, it's on full display for everyone on the planet right now. Our healthcare system was not designed to support health, but profit. They actually set up their system as a pyramid scheme type of thing. It has succeeded in convincing people to outsource their well-being to someone else outside of them. Think about that again. It has succeeded in convincing people to outsource their well-being to someone outside of them. How insane is that? It has also succeeded in making people believe that a pill or a vaccine over a simple, cheap solution like diet, natural earth-bound supplements, oils, etc., is the answer. But the narrative is done at the grip. That narrative is done in the grip of big pharma is crumbling right now. So people are freaking out because they now have to be their own advocate for themselves and possibly their entire family, including their children. Here's a thought for you, okay? And I want you to really think about this. Again, this is challenging everything you've known, but this is something that I've always I'm grateful for my intuition. I'm grateful for my guidance system and always listening to that from a very early age. However, I understand that a lot of people don't grow up that way, and they're like just losing their shit right now. Okay. So really, really, really sit with yourself and ponder this. Have you ever wondered why something is free in the healthcare industry? Free prescriptions, free vaccinations, you know what I'm referring to. Get your flu shot and get a free turkey. When people started waking up to this narrative, they started bribing people. They started to have to bribe people because people were waking up to this. Think about that. If it is that good, you wouldn't have to bribe people. Okay, this is the exact same reason why Bentleys do not have commercials on the TV. They don't have to have commercials on the TV. People know they're good, right? They don't have to pay for that. So think about it. Why are they bribing you? Okay, it's a red flag all around. And this is the exact same reason we have never had an Alexa in our home. So that's some food for thought. It's really not on a completely different scale at all. But this system that was created for not for the health of the people, but for the health of, the financial system of other people, okay, and a group of people, it's crumbling. It's already done, okay? And we're watching that happen. And you are having so much resistance from certain people that have been supporting these systems for so many years. And they put all their faith and all their trust in these systems, and they're being ripped away. They're being challenged, and people are just freaking out because they thought they were right? They didn't understand, or they don't think that there could be another way, a belief system, okay? But here's the thing. There's not just one way. And this is why so many people are waking up now and actually challenging what they've been told for so long. And I am so grateful, again, that so many people every single day are waking up to this. So, all right, number 3. This is a big one. Destruction of the political system. Welcome. We have now moved past Democrat versus Republican. Okay, that's gone. And we have now entered light versus dark, evil versus good. Even for those who have never been involved into politics, can't avoid what is happening right now. It is happening on such a deep internal level globally. Okay, so for me, I was never someone that was into politics. I truly did not think that I had enough education on it. I went with my intuition when thinking things. And there were a lot of things that I was very aware of politics. I just didn't get involved. And like I said, I leaned on my intuition to guide me through that. So, and of course, whenever, you are thinking critically and you're thinking for yourself, you are going to get a lot of backlash from people that don't think that way, okay, or that believe everything that they are fed, the narrative that they are fed. A lot of people do. I just speak my opinion, right? So I don't think, looking at me, you could probably think you would. It's probably easy to see what my opinion is on all of this stuff, right? I mean, I'm giving it to you, but so dig under the narrative being pushed by the media. Again, people don't break into empty houses. This is why I'm a huge advocate for free thinking and not going with the status quo. When you do your own research, you often land at a completely different place than the original message being pushed. Okay, so this is all about challenging your thinking, challenging the narrative. There are many things like, and I have a link to this lady's experience right here. And this link here is going to take you to an article. This is one article out of many, many, many that are going on right now. And it is a link to this article from a lady that she wrote to the president. And it talks about how for 4 years, she believed what she was fed by the media. She was anti everything about him. And then something he said recently, just back in March, piqued her interest, and she started doing her own research and landed at a completely different place. And you know, it goes into a lot of different things, and I literally cried reading it because it was just like so amazing. And I'm so grateful that people are starting to think for themselves because they realize that this shit is insane. Okay. What we have happening right now on this global level of this destruction of the political system, it is necessary. Okay. For those of you who want to know more about like all of these things but don't quite understand the logistics of all of it, like me, I recommend starting here, and I have a link to the person that I follow that has been invested in this, and she shares things in a very, very just clear way, uplifting, like here's where we're going, here's where we're going, here's why this is happening, here's why this is good. That's all. So really interesting. So, and then I have if you have not checked out resignation.info, this has a lot to do with the political system right now and what is going on. So resignation.info has all of the resignations of the CEOs, the government officials, the healthcare workers, all of these people that are literally being taken down right now. And I'm sure by now people, although I can't speak for everyone that have heard about all this stuff, they're being taken down. And you can see all of them that are resigned. And whenever you click on them and you click on the name, it'll take you to the link, an article link as to, you know, how explaining everything. So really interesting, and lots of interesting things there. And you can kind of connect the dots. If you're a dot connector like myself, you'll have fun here, and it'll just bring so much light. Okay, and like I said, it's a good thing, and people are freaking out because, oh my God, the CEO of Disney resigned. Oh my God, the CEO of, you know, Microsoft resigned. We all know who that is. You know, like all these things, like, and they're, you know, I'm over here like clapping, like so freaking excited, and everyone's like, the world's falling apart. But again, progress looks like destruction. So number 4, destruction of the media. For many people, the media is their life story. They wake up, they turn on the news, grab their phone, jump on social media, and accept what they're told. Personally, I don't watch the news because I know that that is not where I would find my truth. And to be honest, from a very early age, it caused me so much anxiety because it was always bad. Like there was nothing good on it. And I always felt that there were so many good things happening in the world. And why weren't they talking about that? But for many, this is the basis of which they live their life. Cue in the depression and mental illness we have running rampant. Media, big pharma, full circle, okay? Not hard to connect that dot. And then I have a picture of independent fact checkers say information in your post is false. We've added a notice to your post. I've been having stuff taken down. I've been having my lives, you know, cut off. So it's crazy. So if people do not break into empty houses, they would not need to put a lock on the door to protect the valuables inside, right? So for the same reason as there would not be censorship on social media if there was nothing to hide. In this case, they're hiding the truth. Fact-checking days are over nearly over due to this executive order. And if you click there, it'll take you to the executive order. If you are a business owner, I would recommend saving your content from a new platform that will arise. Even if you just have so many things of your kids, whatever, you know, save everything off of social media, because if they're taking it down, I don't know personally if it's going to crash and not come back. I know the CEOs are being taken down, so who knows what's going to happen there. But I believe what we are currently experiencing is a transition into a society of free plus critical thinkers. That's what I believe is happening here. Okay, so if you're ready to challenge your thinking and confront the way we have all been manipulated, here's this awesome enlightening documentary. And if you click on this, it will take you to the Out of Shadows documentary video on YouTube. It's about like an hour and 20 minutes long. It's really good. I personally believe everybody needs to watch it because we're all in this. We are all in this, and it's a really enlightening video. And I think that we will all come out of it being able to have that critical thinking, mentality. So here's something to put into perspective. There are 15,000 or 1,500 newspapers, 1,100 magazines, 9,000 radio stations, 1,500 TV stations, 2,400 publishers, owned by 3 corporations. Okay, people think that, oh, this is independent, they do their own things. No. Okay, 3 corporations, and those 3 corporations are going to control the narrative of what they want you to know and what they want you to not know. Okay, this is why you really can't trust anything other than doing your own research and coming to your own conclusions. Okay, and finding people who are doing the same thing, which is what I have done, and those are the links that I've shared here. Okay, so having resilience right now and always is key. Here's why. Resilience definition. Resilience means knowing how to cope in spite of setbacks or barriers or limited resources. Resilience is a measure of how much you want something and how much you are willing and able to overcome obstacles to get it. It has to do with your emotional strength. This is what I talk about. This is what I share in my business. This is why I show up, because resilience is necessary in every area of our lives, and we are able to attain it very easily. And so this is a thing I found, and I feel like it's hilarious. But for whoever started this game at the beginning of 2020, please finish it quickly. And for those of you on Instagram, it's a picture of the Jumanji game. And while I fully feel like we are all living real life Jumanji right now, I also know that the light is going to keep shining brighter. The truth right now for everyone, you are being presented with 2 choices: evolve or repeat. People who are afraid to change and hold on to their comfort zones tighter than their wallet are freaking out right now during this destruction. Many are clinging onto those false benefits we have been led to believe and begging to be kept in a cage, and they don't even know it. They don't even know when these people are fighting for these messed up people, in the political industry and big pharma, like, and all, they're like, oh my God, like they know what they're talking about. They do that. Guys, they don't. And those people that are doing this, they outsource their power to other people. And that is the biggest mistake. So people, and I'm going to assume a lot of people watching this, who are their own advocate for themselves, for their children, we see what's going on, and we're happy about this, right? Whenever you see these big name people that are in control of our health and all this other shit be taken down, people like me, and people who think for themselves are freaking like having parties. Okay, like literally I cried just tears of joy when I seen some of these things that were happening, because we seeked out the truth before the masses did, right? So when people are clinging onto these false benefits of thinking that, oh, it can only get worse, they don't think about how it can get better, because, and not to their fault really, but just to the narrative that they were fed. So we have a society where so many people try to fit into that narrative instead of seeking out their own truth. I've never been a sheep. I've been made fun of. I've been mocked. I've been left alone, etc. I will never put myself in a box to please anyone, have more friends, more followers, etc. You guys, I have lost a lot of followers since I started sharing my truth, since I've started living my authenticity. I've also gained a lot of new close friends of like-minded individuals, and that means everything to me. Okay, I don't care if people don't resonate with me. That's fine. I don't care if people are offended by me sharing my truth, my story, right? Everyone should be allowed to do that. It's not worth it, and it does not serve anyone, right? Authenticity plus transparency is the way of the new world. You see this shifting. I've seen this coming for years, okay? Because I've seen this, on in a business level, and personally myself, like where I'm putting my dollar. And if you've been around me, I always say you vote with your dollar. You vote with your dollar. And in a business level, like that's right? So I choose the companies I purchase from wisely. I try to outsource, my trips to Target, to other things, and my food, I'm very cautious with the companies I support, and, things like that. I'm really into that type of thing. The people that are authentic and transparent, and that's one of the reasons why I love doTERRA, and why I started with that, because they are transparent. And you see so many other companies, as there are companies in every industry, stepping up to set that bar high. It's forcing everyone else to step up to do the same. And you'll see this even on a smaller level, of these companies that, for instance, food, you'll see these companies that have really shitty food, but now they're stepping up their game because they don't have a choice. They're going to be left out. It's just simple. So whenever we are moving into this new world, that's what's going to happen. So it is truly exciting to seek out the light, to see past this dust cloud. There is no going back. We are moving forward into a whole new world. And I am truly excited about that. So that's where we're at. And I hope that you find value in this. I hope that you seek out your own truth in this. And again, this is my truth, and you can take with it what you want. You can investigate yourself, investigate whatever. But yeah, so I am going to actually probably do this probably midweek next week. I'm going to start doing it like Wednesdays. I think it'll be a little bit easier. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me today on Instagram and everywhere else. I will have this loaded up to YouTube and posted, like I said, unless it gets taken down. But that's where it will live, and it will live on my blog post. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Saturday, and I will see you next week. If you have any topic suggestions, if you are seeking out your own light and you have a lot to share, feel free to send me a DM, and I would love to talk on it. All right, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.